with Vladimir Putin? I hope I do, but there's a good chance I won't. Well, I'm not releasing tax returns because, as you know, they're under audit.
But every president since the 70s has...
Oh, gee, I've never heard that. Oh, gee, I've never heard that. Don and Eric are going to be running the company. They are going to be running it in a very professional manner. They're not going to discuss it with me. Again, I don't have to do this. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, not you. Not you. Your organization's terrible. Your organization's terrible. As far as BuzzFeed, which is a failing pile of garbage, writing it, I think they're going to suffer the consequences. They already are.
So news organizations publish untrue content all the time, but to their credit, it's usually by accident. On Tuesday, BuzzFeed chose to release a 35-page dossier on Trump, whose contents even BuzzFeed's editors admitted could not be verified. In fact, the publication said explicitly, quote, "The report contains errors." BuzzFeed's conduct may be among the worst excesses of yellow digital journalism, but many are arguing their decision to publish that piece was justified. We're joined now by Matthew Ingram of Fortune magazine, who authored a piece today defending BuzzFeed. Matthew, thanks a lot for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
One of my favorite reporters, Michael Tracy, wrote something this morning that made me think of this. He said, and I'm quoting, he said, "WikiLeaks relentlessly attacked for publishing verified, authentic information. BuzzFeed is cheered for publishing what is a total sham." You have been critical of WikiLeaks for publishing emails that did not belong to them, and yet you're cheering the publication of material that is clearly wrong. Why?
In fact, I was supportive of WikiLeaks. I support their attempts to publish documents that would otherwise go unpublished. I support BuzzFeed's decision to do the same when those documents are clearly part of an important story. They said they were unverified. They didn't say that everything in there was true. All they said was these documents are being discussed at the highest levels. Senior intelligence agents have effectively said this source is credible, and yet no one is showing you this document. I think they did a public service.
Well, first of all, I just read a piece that you wrote criticizing the release of those WikiLeaks emails. But to the point of on BuzzFeed, there are lots of things that are discussed privately, especially during campaigns, and you're a working journalist, so you know this well, that we don't publish because we're not certain if they're true. And the bar is higher when they're personal and they're damaging to people's reputations. And isn't it our job to verify their veracity? Isn't that why we exist? Isn't that why we have reporters in the first place?
Sure it is, and I'm not saying that that shouldn't happen. In fact, BuzzFeed is working and has been working for months, according to Ben Smith, to verify the things that are in that document. So it's not that by publishing they're saying we accept all of these things as true. What they're saying is that this document has been presented to the president, has been presented to senior members of the intelligence community, and all the reporting before BuzzFeed said there is this document, but we're not going to tell you what's in it. But it's really important. And in fact, it could affect the entire Trump administration. It could call into question the entire government. Isn't that something that people should be able to see?
Well, I don't know. If it's not true, it's not going to affect the Trump administration, presumably, unless the media trot it out there and treat it as if it's significant. Look, you know as well as I, we hear all kinds of things. I've heard all sorts of things about Barack Obama's romantic life, for example. I have no idea if any of them are true. I hope they're not. I would never report that. They're probably lies spread by his opponents. That often happens. Isn't it irresponsible to pass on something you can't verify? I don't understand how you couldn't see that as a journalist.